Cars have always reflected innovation, style, and practicality, evolving with each passing decade to meet the needs and desires of drivers. As technology advances, some features become iconic, while others fade into history. In this video, we'll dive into some car features we wish were still around, and those that are thankfully gone. Some car innovations have become timeless, carrying a certain charm or functionality that remains unmatched, even by today's standards. Whether it's the sleek pop-up headlights that added an air of mystery to classic cars, or the simple yet effective foot dimmer switch that made nighttime driving more convenient, there are certain features that remain symbols of a bygone era. First up, we have pop-up headlights that were a design feature popularized in the 1960s and 70s, and they were often seen on sports cars and muscle cars. These innovative headlights flipped up either manually or automatically when needed, and retracted seamlessly under the car's exterior when not needed. Both playful and iconic, they elevated car design by blending functionality with style. First introduced in the 1930s, pop-up headlights quickly became a hallmark of automotive design in the decades that followed. The feature debuted in 1936 with the Cord 810. At this time, most vehicles were equipped with round headlamps, which often appeared clunky and unrefined. Pop-up headlights offered a sleek alternative, transforming cars into symbols of modernity and sophistication. Revealed at the 1935 New York Auto Show, the Cord 810 captivated the public, receiving over 1,000 orders and solidifying its place as an icon of early American automotive design. While they were often a mechanical headache and required extra maintenance, pop-up headlights are one feature we wish we could still see on modern cars. However, their reign ended in the 1990s when changing safety regulations made them difficult to manufacture. But despite the decline and ultimate demise, the muscle car's pop-up headlights fit perfectly with its bold, aggressive look, especially the 1968 to 1970 models, which are some of the most beloved generations of the muscle. Examples of cars with such is the 1968-69 Pontiac GTO. This classic comes with pop-up headlights that blend into its aggressive yet elegant design, making it one of the most iconic cars of the era. The Corvette C3 is another famous car to carry headlight design upgrades. This feature gives it a sharp, futuristic look while remaining true to its performance-oriented roots. Others are the 1970 to 1971 Mercury Cyclone and the second-generation Buick Riviera. While they were visually appealing, pop-up headlights came with some challenges. They were mechanically complex and prone to failure due to the moving parts involved. As we said earlier, maintenance could be expensive, and many drivers found them prone to malfunctioning or getting stuck. Additionally, when they were retracted, they often collected dirt and debris, which could impair their functionality. Over time, manufacturers shifted toward more conventional fixed headlights, primarily due to cost and reliability concern. Another feature we still yearn for is the foot dimmer switch. The foot dimmer switch was a simple, practical feature that made adjusting headlights easier while driving. Located on the floorboard, usually to the left of the brake pedal, it allowed drivers to toggle intensity with a quick tap of their foot. This hands-free control meant that drivers could keep their hands on the wheel while making the necessary adjustments to their headlights. It was a quick solution before the days of automatic headlights and steering wheel mounted controls. While it was phased out over time with the advent of more advanced technology, the foot dimmer switch was a beloved feature for its convenience and its old-school classic feel. Here are some of the reasons we wished it was still here. Firstly, control. The foot dimmer switch allowed for quick changes between high and low beams without the need to take your hands off the wheel, offering more control and safety while driving, especially on winding roads or in traffic. Then, the simplicity. It was a straightforward mechanical system that didn't rely on electronics, making it less prone to failure. There's something charming about the simplicity of using your foot for such an important driving function. While it's mostly disappeared in favor of electronic controls and automatic headlights, the foot dimmer switch remains a fond memory for anyone who's had the pleasure of using it. Up next is the column shifter. The column shifter is a type of gear shift mounted on the steering column, as opposed to the more common center console mounted shifter. This design was especially popular in cars from the 1950s through the 1970s, and it allowed for more space in the vehicle's interior while also giving the dashboard a cleaner, more streamlined look. Here are some reasons why we wish it were still here. Just as we've said, it allows for more interior space. With the shifter mounted on the steering column, the center console was left open, giving the driver and passengers more room, which was especially useful in older cars with bench seats. It also gives a classic driving feel. There's something uniquely satisfying about the mechanical feel of shifting on the column, and it's something that many classic car enthusiasts love. It's also practical for larger vehicles. In trucks and larger cars, the column shifter is still commonly found today because it makes it easier to move between the front seats, offering a more functional layout for vehicles with bench seating or for those used for work purposes. As cars became more modern and designs focused on comfort and advanced technology, the column shifter gradually gave way to the more popular center console mounted shifters. The demise of vent window is another feature which ought to be here. A vent window is a small hinged window positioned in the corner of a car door, just in front of the main window. These small side windows could be adjusted to allow air to flow through the cabin while keeping the main windows closed. Often found in cars built from the 1930s to the late 80s, vent windows were especially helpful on warm days, providing a refreshing breeze without fully opening the door window. As we've said, although not categorically, it improves airflow. Vent windows provide an easy way to let in fresh air, even when driving at lower speeds. They were perfect for preventing the wind tunnel effect you often get when rolling down only one window, allowing for better ventilation without the noise or turbulence. These classic windows were especially useful on hot days. As car designs evolved, manufacturers started focusing on aerodynamics and improving efficiency, which led to the elimination of vent windows. Modern air conditioning systems also made them less necessary, as drivers could now control the cabin temperature with ease, rendering the vent window less practical. Additionally, modern window designs eliminated the need for a separate small window to direct airflow. The bench seat. Although we've mentioned this before, now let's talk about it better. The bench seat was a classic element that made it easier to slide in and out of the car, especially in larger vehicles. One of the charming aspects of this feature was the closeness they offered, allowing the driver and passenger to sit right next to each other, ideal for a little extra intimacy on long drives or for feeling more connected during the ride. But this feature was axed because modern cars are becoming narrower, driven by evolving style preferences and advancements in traction and stability technology. These improvements make slimmer vehicles more secure and easier to maneuver, while smaller car designs contribute to improved fuel efficiency. The shift away from front bench seats is also tied to safety advancements. Airbags, for example, are designed to offer better protection for two front passengers, making three-person benches less practical. And lastly, the suicide doors. A suicide door is an automobile door hinged at the rear rather than the front. Originally featured on horse-drawn carriages, these doors are uncommon in modern vehicles due to safety concerns, as rear hinge designs are generally less secure than front hinge doors. Suicide doors, which open opposite of traditional doors, are still featured on some high-end luxury cars, though they're rare. Brands like Rolls-Royce and Bentley have incorporated them into their designs, particularly on models like the Rolls-Royce Phantom and Bentley Mulsanne. While their aesthetic and functional appeal, especially for easier rear seat access, remain timeless, they have become a symbol of luxury and exclusivity. Now to those features we are glad they are gone. Automatic seatbelts. Automatic seatbelts were once hailed as a breakthrough in automotive safety, but they were more trouble than they were worth. These seatbelts would automatically extend when you closed the door, but often they were a hassle to get in and out of. Many drivers found them cumbersome, especially when the seatbelt would malfunction or fail to retract properly. In some cases, the automatic mechanism would get stuck, leaving passengers with no option but to wrestle with it. Today, manual seatbelts are standard, offering more reliability, comfort, and ease of use. We're glad these seatbelts have gone. Up next, behind the license plate gas cap. Having the gas cap hidden behind the license plate was once a common design feature, but it was notoriously inconvenient. For one, it was often awkward to access, especially if the plate was stuck or the mechanism failed. Some cars required you to flip the plate or manually release a latch, making refueling a more cumbersome process than it needed to be. Additionally, if the license plate frame wasn't aligned properly, it could block access to the gas cap entirely. While it was a clever design at the time, it's been replaced with the simpler, more accessible side-mounted gas caps. Headlight wipers is also another unnecessary feature. While headlight wipers were designed to keep headlights clear of dirt, snow, and debris, they were often ineffective and did little to improve visibility. On top of that, they added unnecessary complexity to the car's design and maintenance. The wipers themselves could break, and replacing them could be costly. Plus, many felt they didn't offer enough benefit to justify the extra effort. Today, headlight washers or just regular cleaning do the job far more effectively without the hassle, making headlight wipers a feature we're happy to leave in the past. Next up are CD changers. Thankfully, CD changers are gone, especially the ones located in the trunk. These were incredibly inconvenient because you often had to pull over and stop the car just to swap out a CD. Not only did it disrupt the flow of your drive, but it also created an unnecessary hassle. Even when they were mounted in the dashboard, they could be slow to load, adding to the frustration. Now, with the rise of digital music, streaming, and USB drives, accessing music is easier, faster, and far more convenient, something that makes CD changers feel outdated and unnecessary. Lastly, we have the car phones. These early mobile phones were often mounted in the car or came as bulky bag phones that you'd plug into the cigarette lighter. They were highly expensive to use and had limited functionality, offering little more than basic voice calls. Signal quality was poor, and they were prone to dropping calls, especially in rural areas. Plus, the cost of calls was astronomical compared to today's cell phones. What seemed like a cutting-edge feature in the 80s and early 90s quickly became an outdated, impractical option once portable cell phones became mainstream, making car phones a relic of the past we're happy to forget. Cars have come a long way, with some features we miss and others we're happy to leave behind. Which would you like to see? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more. Thanks for watching.